Hey everyone, this is Thyworm and today I want to give you my first impressions of patch 0.5, also known as BFP1. My current status is that I have almost reached endgame again. I'm currently working on the master difficulty missions. I have unlocked all characters and Lukian and Valeria are both level 30 now. I finished the storyline in Act 6 and I logged about 25 hours into the new patch. Let me highlight a few things that intrigued me while I was playing. Act 6. Let me start with a new campaign, Act 6. I won't spoil anything guys, don't worry. What I noticed in Act 6, which was unfortunate for me, is an audio bug. None of the voiceovers or other quest related sounds were working, while combat sounds were completely fine. I heard others having this bug as well. Regardless though, I still enjoyed Act 6 very much. It is a very lengthy campaign. You will be visiting once again numerous locations, some very familiar, some completely new, and all of these locations fit perfectly into the storyline and Mad Loreweavers did an outstanding job. I love the little intricacies between the gods as well. As you free more and more deities, their character and misdemeanor also surface. Dabog is still this static, stoic guy, while Veles goes all out in this act, joking constantly about really serious matters. The interactions between all these gods that have been together since childhood is very well executed and it is something I can personally really appreciate, especially in a game like this. Another compliment has to be made to the art and the visuals team. The new locations look absolutely stunning, both in terms of scenery, amount of detail and overall visual look. Crafted and dropped items. Dropped items are much better than I expected. Like, much better. From the moment I started leveling till the moment I am currently, I have only been working with dropped items and they feel really strong and satisfying. They can be flawless, they can have an amazing set of stats, or they can be total rubbish. What matters though is that you can just do a bunch of missions, pick up the dropped items and for sure you will find a few upgrades for your heroes. An enormous improvement compared to the previous situation. Expect an entire video on this subject soon, dealing with itemization and progression. However, crafting, it's just not in a good place, from what I can tell. It is unimpactful for 3 reasons. 1. Recipes are very rare, which means there just aren't that many opportunities to craft. I didn't find a single recipe in the first 2 hours of gameplay, and in level 40 missions on normal, I get maybe 2 recipes on average in an expedition with 10 encounters. 2. Crafting is very expensive. It is even more expensive than before. So you're not in a position to do much crafting because you will run out of materials. 3. The crafted items are underwhelming. I found during initial crafting testing that creating blue or purple items is really not worth it. Even if the recipe has some decent guaranteed stats, which it usually doesn't by the way, the random stats have to be spot on in order for an item to be good. And you also need to roll a lot of additional stats in order for the item to be good. And reforges are very expensive. All of these things combined lead to the conclusion, at least for now, that dropped items are much better than crafted items. I think the only viable crafted items currently are legendary items. I will do more testing, however, and that will also be a new video, but these are my initial results. How have you found crafting so far? I'm curious to know, so leave your comments down below. Astral Shield. This section talks a bit about the new stats, but mainly about Astral Shield, because boy, is that an overpowered stat. Or is it? Well, while leveling Valeria, I decided rather quickly that Astral Shields were good. I itemized for it, didn't have to drink a single potion in the entire campaign. So that works pretty well. It's so good because it has combat regeneration, and on characters that don't get hit too often, this is basically free health, like Valeria. It works so well on her because she is usually out of reach, and when I do get hit, I can move out of the way, have the shield regenerate and continue the fight. Upon reaching endgame, however, Astral Shield is less useful, because the enemies just hit too hard. It felt really balanced as I progressed further and further towards endgame, so so I feel that Astral Shield is implemented extremely well and that it is also in a very good place right now. This must have been pretty tough to pull off for the devs, but I think they did an amazing job here. Guys, I'm streaming this game as well. Monday, Wednesday and Friday 8 PM Central European Time on twitch.tv/Thyworm. There I will answer all your questions you might have and we can play some games together as well. New skill trees. Of course, I have only seen a fraction of the available skills in action, but what I have seen so far is really good. I mean, sure, some stuff is very underwhelming, some stuff is pretty OP, but I love every single minute I'm spending in the skill tree screen, trying to come up with new builds, new skills, new tactics and new ways to play the character. A specific challenge I had was master difficulty missions that I needed to complete to unlock the endgame bosses. I played a bunch on Valeria, but I just couldn't pull it off on my current build with 11k might. She didn't really have the tools to stay alive yet, so I leveled up Lukian and started experimenting with his abilities. First on normal level 40 missions to try some stuff out, and after running the same instance a couple of times with different skills, I figured out which ones worked and which ones didn't. After an hour or so of testing, I came up with a build that had only 3 skills and allowed me to place a bunch of stuns on the enemies so they could basically never reach me. This build proved to be very effective in master difficulty missions without requiring me to have a 16k might. Expect many videos on character builds, guys, because I love that stuff. The main takeaway of this little story is that the skill tree works as intended, I would say. It allows diversity, it incentivizes creativity, and when used correctly can solve specific problems. Of course, it isn't balanced, that will come in time, but overall I'm very happy with the way it is implemented. We're on the way to 1700 subscribers, guys, so if you enjoy this content, subscribe as well and hit the bell icon. I'm putting out multiple videos per week with the latest news, patch notes, discussions, devlog dissections and guides and tutorials for Pagan Online. This way you won't miss a thing. And hey, if you liked the video, please hit the like button or share the video. It really helps me reach a larger audience so we can grow the community. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you very soon. Bye bye.